Unit 5. First, choose the correct answer. In the equation A equal 3b, the independent variable here will be p. Letter B, in the equation m plus 5 equal r, the dependent variable here it will be r. Letter C, if the independent variable is the number of studying hours, then the dependent variable will be the exam result. Letter C, the dependent here exam result. Letter D, if the dependent variable is the number of training hours, then the independent variable here we must choose what we have is the distance between the club and the hours, the color of your clothes, the height of the house. You will choose what the number of the days you go to the club. The number of the days. Okay, it will be independent. Independent, it's meaning depend on what? The number of days you go to the club. Then the dependent variable is the number of training hours. Number of training hours depend on the number of days you go to the club. Okay, right. The number of days you go to the club. Letter E, the equation that express the relation subtract from 6. Subtract from 6, then you can write y equals 6 minus x. Subtract from 6. Letter F, the equation that express the relation 8, 5, then multiply 2. Then we can write y equal 8, 5 and multiply by 2. Then you can write 2 outside, the sum of the numbers such that x 8 to 5. Y equal twice the sum of x and 5. Or you can write, or reading it, the relation that represent here 8, 5 then multiply by 2. 8, 5 then multiply by 2. You can write here x plus 5 and then multiplication by 2. You can write x plus 5 in brackets or parentheses, multiplication by 2, or write 2 outside here, the sum of x and 5. Letter G, the relation that represents the equation y equal x subtract by 8 divided by 3 is what? We want to find the relation here. We can find the first, subtract between x and 8, between x and 8, and then divide the result by 3. Okay, subtract 8, then divided by 3. Choose second choosing here. Subtract 8, then divided by 3. Okay, understood? Next question. Letter H. If y equal to x plus 3 and x equal to 0.5, then y equal what? We can put x equal to 0.5 in this relation. We have y equal to x plus 3, then y will be equal to multiplication the value of x here 2.5 plus 3, then y equal 2 times 2.5 will be 5. 5 plus 3 equal 8, then y will be equal 8, the value of variable y. Letter J or letter I. Okay, letter I, if y equal twice the sum of x and 4, and if x equal 5, then y will be what? 2 multiplication, right? X here equal 5 plus 4, then y will be 2 times 5 plus 4 equal 9, then y will be equal 18. 2 times 9 equal 18. It's letter I. Letter J, y equal 5x minus 8 and x equal 8, then y will be 5 times the value of x give us here in the example equal 8. Then y equal 5 times 8 minus 8, and y equal 5 times 8 equal 4. Subtract y 8, then y will be equal 32. Okay. Second question here, complete the following. Letter A. In the equation, 8a equal b, the independent variable here, independent, we called it a. A here is the independent. Choose, write A here. Letter B. If the number of cars in the garage depends on the size of the garage, depends on, its meaning what? Independent. This word depend on, its meaning independent. So the independent variable here is the size of garage. Okay, again, this word depends on, its meaning what? Depends on, its meaning independent. Independent, the size of garage. Then the independent variable, we can write the size of garage. The size of garage. Letter C, or it was letter B. Here it was number 1 and number 2, letter B here. Okay, letter B. The dependent variable here, it will be the number of cars. The number of cars in the garage depends on the size of garage. Then its meaning independent on, depends on, its meaning independent the size of garage. Then the dependent, it will be the number of garage, the number of cars. Okay, then he won't find here what? The dependent variable. The dependent variable, it will be the number of cars, the number of cars, the number of cars. It was question E, letter A, and letter B, the result 1. The size of garage, it was the independent, and the dependent, it will be the number of cars. Next question, letter C. If the independent variable is what Ahmed saves every day, and the dependent variable is what he saves in 1 week, then space here depends on space. Who can tell me? We know what Ahmed saves in all week. Right here, what Ahmed saves in all week depend on what variable here is what he saves. Depend on what Ahmed saves every day. So again, we have dependent and independent. Look at this word again. Then space depend on, its meaning independent. Depend on, and right here independent what? Independent what? What Ahmed saves every day. So the dependent, what Ahmed saves in all week. Right in the first space here, Ahmed what Ahmed saves in all week. Saves in all week. Okay, it's the first result about letter C. Letter C. Again, if the independent variable, look at this word, independent variable is what Ahmed saves every day, then this will be, or depend on mean, okay, depend on the next here, the next will be what he saves in 1 week. What he saves in 1 week or every day, right? What Ahmed saves every day. Understood? Again, Ahmed saves a lot of money, okay, every day. If the independent variable in what Ahmed saves every day, dependent variable is what saves in 1 week. What he saves in 1 week, we called it independent. Okay, independent or depend on what Ahmed saves every day. So the dependent variable, what Ahmed saves in all the week. If we know what Ahmed saves every day, we will find the total what Ahmed saves in all week. So what Ahmed saves every day, we called it what? Independent. Okay, what Ahmed saves every day, independent. We called it what? Independent. And what Ahmed saves all the week, we called it dependent. We called it what? Dependent. And what Ahmed saves every day, independent. Independent, it will be what? Depend on. Depend on, it will be equal to independent. This word, independent, equivalent to what? Depend on. Depend on, huh? Equal what? Independent. Understood? Okay. It was letter C. And letter D, if the rule here is add 2.4, then the equation will be what? We can write y equal, about letter D, the rule here add 2.4, x plus 2.4. It's number one. Number two, if x equal 4, then y will be x plus 2.4, but x equal 4, 4 plus 2.4, then y will be 6.4. The value here, it will be y. Question letter E, if the rule is divided by 4, then the equation will be what? Y equal x divided by 4, or x over 4. You can write y equal x over 4 or y equal x divided by 4. It was question number 1. It's the rule. And the question number 2, if x equals 16, then y equal what? Put x equals 16. If x equal 16, then y will be 16 divided by 4. Then 4, because 16 divided by 4 equal 4. Okay. Question letter F. Is the equation y equal 15 plus x divided by 15 plus x divided by 4. You want to find the rule, we can write 815, then divide by 4. The rule here, we can write add 15, then divide by 4. Question number 2, if x equal 5, put x equal 5 here, then y will be what? Put x here equal 5. 15 plus 5, it will be 20. 20 divided by 4 equal 5. Then y will be equal 5. The result here will be 5. Okay? Understood? Third question. We want to draw this relation. Samih trains for 6 hours divided into 4 days equally. We want to find the relation. Again, Samih trains 6 hours divided into 4 days. So you can find 6 divided by 4 will be 1.5. So we want to find the relation between y and x. Y equal 6 hours. If we have x, we have 4. Again, if y, relation between y and x, if y equals 6, then x will be 4. Then the relation between y and x, 6 divided by 4, it will be what? Divided by 2. Here, it will be 3 over 2x. Then the relation between y and x, y equal 1.5x is the relation between what? Y and x. Understood? Again, Samih trains 6 hours divided into 6 days. I want to find how many hours he will train in one day. Okay, Samih trains for 6 hours. How many hours in one day? Samih train 1.5 hour every day. from 4 days. Okay, so if y equals 6, then x equal 4, and if x equal 1, put x equal 1 here, then 1 times 1.5 will be 1.5. So Sameh will train 1.5 hours in 1 day. And if x equal 2, he will train how many hours? 2 times 1.5, it will be 3. He will take 3 hours. If Sameh train at 3 days, how many hours? He will trains 3 times 1.5, multiplication 3 times 1.5 equal what? 3 times 5 equal 15. 5 and the care up 1. 1 times 3 equal 3 plus 1 equal 4. And if x equal 4 in this relation, put x equal 4. 4 times 1.5, it will be 6. Okay, it's the table. So you can draw here such that this table he give us x and y, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here the image will be 1.5, 2 it will be 3, 3 and will be 4.5, and 4 it will be 6. Okay, the relation between x and y, and then draw graphical between x and y, 1, 2, 3, 4, and y we have 0. All the time we must add half. 0.5, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and 5, 5.5, 6. Okay, 1 to 1.5, 2, the result here image will be 3, 3 will be 4.5, and 4 will be 6. Okay, then you can draw the number line by using ruler to find the image here. Okay, my students, it's very easy for you. Okay, again, Sameh trains for 6 hours divided into 4 days. Complete the following table where the variable x represents the number of days. X here refers to the number of days, and y here refers to represent the duration of training in hours. Right, this equation. Okay, y refers to what? The number of hours, and x days. X refers to days, how many days, and y refers to hours. Okay, understood? It will be here x and y. Horizontal axis here x, and vertical axis will be y. The relation between y and x. First step, we can write in the table to find the relation. If he give us the information y equals 6 here, y equals 6, and x equal 4, and ask it yourself what's the relation between 6 and 4. 6 divided by 4, it will be 1.5. Then y equals 6 over 4x. We can write this example by another method. Write relation between y and x. We have y equal 6 when x equal 4, and divide 6 divided by 4, it will be 1.5. Then y will be 1.5 multiplication by x. Using this rule, the product of extremes equals the product of means to find the simplest number. Okay,